Okay. Good evening, good night. Sunday. How you guys been this weekend? I've been mostly chilling for the most part, I think. And I was scrolling YouTube and of course I saw this video clip of some testimony. I believe this is the side piece from the TikTok star Ali Abulaban. Abulaban. What's up everybody? Chaos, 828 Carolyn, Ronan Wilson. Hola. And I will give an update as well as on that teacher, big booty teacher that was stripping and stuff. There's an update with that school. We'll talk about it. Anyway, tomorrow we're back with Karen Reed, and I'm excited, though I don't know how long this trial is going to drag out. I am excited because, I don't know, I've been thinking a lot about the case, and I'm trying to hold and reserve some of my thoughts, but I feel like I am leaning a certain way, but I'm trying to see what else is presented, and I want to give the defense a chance as well. Okay, I guess let's get started then. This is the TikTok star we've been covering. This dude killed his wife and the wife's friend, and we've covered it over the last couple of days, all this drama and just crazy jealousy and, I don't know, weirdo stuff. What's up? Abulaban. Oh, thank you. Do we appreciate that? All right, let's start. Let's get started.
There was just some like weird moments that kind of like that I thought about later that made me realize it was weird. Like when I showered, he wanted me to use a specific body wash, and I was like, okay. And then I like hit me later and was like, oh, that was definitely like her body wash.
All right, right off the bat, homeboy wanted her to wear some body wash that his wife would wear, Anna. It reminded me of like, I forgot some of those weird stories that I heard of, like some guy obsessing over a woman, and so the next woman he wants her to wear the clothes, maybe the deceased person's clothes, or I don't know. I
thought that was really weird.
Why did you say it was her body, the wife's body?
Because I'm like, it was like some like brown sugar coconut. I don't know. It was a girly little body wash, and I was like, that's definitely not his. At least I don't think it was. And his insistence on me using that one, he was like, oh, this one's really good. Like, you should use this one. And I was like, okay, sure.
But the defendant didn't say it was his body wash.
No, he didn't say it was his body wash. I just assumed. This is an assumption. He kept showing me his TikToks, and I was like, what? Like, because it was just funny to me. He spent a lot of time talking about him.
About who?
His TikToks.
You just mute.
Do you recall how soon after the incident or the sex with the defendant that the defendant started text messaging you?
Like for this, like when he was trying to get me to talk to his wife, or which situation?
Well, the first time.
Oh, yeah.
How soon after? So you left the apartment. Are we now into September 16th? Like when you left the apartment? Are we in the wee hours of?
And I'm assuming this is the Nikki chick. The chick that she was in, I think she had like a sugar daddy at the time or something like that. And I think this is the girl that lived in the same building.
September 16th? Okay. So after you leave the apartment, how soon does the defendant start sending you text messages?
I think I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember too well. I think because I went straight to bed after that. But like throughout that week was when he was texting me.
Okay. And was it, he was text messaging you every day or not?
I think he did it for a few days. I'm not sure. There was one day where he was specifically like, when he was calling me and stuff, that was like the day where I was like getting really upset that he was contacting me excessively.
So when the defendant was sending you text messages, what was he saying?
He was asking me to hang out, to come see him, or like to go, if I wanted to go out and get food or something, and then, yeah.
What was your response when the defendant was asking you to hang out?
No.
And what about to go out with him for food?
No.
Damn.
What was the defendant's response to you saying no?
He tried calling me and then asked me to like hear the sincerity in his voice, and I told him I had no interest.
When the defendant was asking you to hear the sincerity in his voice, what is it that he was saying to you?
I think he just wanted me. I don't know. I didn't know what that meant. I think he was just trying to show that like he genuinely wanted to hang out with me or something, but I didn't really care.
There was no other context to the conversation that he.
I feel like this guy was some type of incel too. Even though he got with Anna and they got married, I think that's like the only woman this dude's ever been with besides this one, you know, or unless he got some prostitute. But I feel like he was borderline incel type of, you know.
He was talking about.
Not that I remember.
All right, and so you said that you would tell him you didn't want to hang out with him or go out to eat, and then he would call you. What would he say in the phone calls?
I didn't really answer them.
And the rest of the week that he was sending you the text messages, what else would he say in those messages?
That's as much as I really remember.
And then the time you said he called you about 4 times, did you answer once or more than once?
I don't think I answered at all. I'm pretty sure.
Right, and did the defendant have any conversation with you about whether or not you should tell his wife about the sex between the two of you?
Yeah, that was like later. Like I don't know if it was like weeks or like a month later.
So she says they had sex. His story, I'm pretty sure he was like denying sex. Is this the same one he tried to say? I'm pretty sure it is. Only one other woman. It seems like this is the woman that I thought they met in the lobby. That she came inside, and supposedly he claimed she offered sex, and but then she said she was on her period, and he told her to take a shower, and that all he did was get a massage.
It was like closer to when everything kind of blew up.
When what blew up?
Like when what happened. Like it was definitely not that same week that he called me about it, but it was like maybe like 2-3 weeks after it happened, or like the week after that week.
Okay, you're just giving us your best guess.
Yeah.
It's hard to remember specific dates. All right, so between the time that the defendant was sending you text messages about hanging out to the time that he called you a couple weeks later, was there any other contact by him to you?
I don't think so. No.
And besides him asking you about to hang out with him, was that the gist of the messages that he would send and the phone calls?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, a couple weeks later, when he calls you on the phone, you had a conversation with him.
Yes.
Okay, what did he say to you?
He was telling me that his wife found out and was asking, like, if hypothetically, if she were to call me, like, would I lie for him? And telling me not to, like, what am I gonna say? And he was just freaking out, like, he was talking really fast and just being like, she found out, and was just,
Damn, all that coke.
pressing me.
Did the defendant tell you how his wife found out?
No.
So,
Oh, that's true. Nat, he did text Anna telling Anna that Anna had sucked him after this woman was having sex on the period, supposedly. But I don't know if he actually did it or not. And to what Stephanie said, he did say or at some point that he couldn't get it up because he was coked up.
is this how the defendant starts the conversation? He calls you, you pick up, and he immediately starts telling you that his wife found out?
I think he was texting me before that because I wasn't really answering, and then he was telling me in text that she found out, and then I answered the call, and then he was telling me again to call.
Okay, so in the text messages, what do you remember him saying to you?
I remember him just telling me that, and then the rest of it happened through phone call. The rest of it was him just basically telling me that, like, she might call me, and if she calls me, like, what am I gonna say? And I was kind of like, well, this is not my problem. Like, I didn't know anything, so.
So when the defendant called you and asked if you would lie to his wife, what was he specifically telling you to say?
I think it was.
So Leo Reacts says, so he cheated first. I think, like, the misconception with this story is that she was cheating. Well, it depends. People have different thoughts because somebody told me the other day, well, she was legally still married, and the whole separated thing, which I don't know if that is the person said it's separated. You have to legally be separated. He said you can't just say you're separated. I thought sometimes married people, they say they're separated, and they're working through getting a divorce. She said to him she didn't want to be with him. She didn't want to be married to him, but, you know, she also kind of kept going back and forth, which I understand is kind of like a tough thing. But, yeah, Ali was already messing with somebody and had seems like they had sex. Anna with Ray, I don't know if they messed around or not, but if she did anyway, I think she would have been entitled to. And at the end of the day, again, even if she was cheating, let's say anybody killing somebody, murdering somebody is not warranted. But in this case, it's so hypocritical that this guy is messing around, but he doesn't want her to have anything, and then he gets pissed off and kills her.
He was just trying to tell me not to tell her that we did anything at all.
And how did you feel about that?
I felt bad, but I was also kind of scared because he sounded really like.
Wait, we take that back real quick.
I think he was just trying to tell me not to tell her that we did anything at all.
And how did you feel about that?
I felt bad, but I was also kind of scared because he sounded really like not aggressive, but just kind of like his voice was just very different. Like who I was talking to in that moment was like very different from who I was talking to when I first met him.
Okay, so you said his voice was aggressive?
Yeah, or he was just very panicked and was like, "You're gonna lie for me, right? You're gonna lie." And I was like, okay.
So when the defendant asked you to lie for him, what was your response?
I don't remember if I told him I would or not.
Thank you, Mel, for your coverage of the most interesting case. You are my one-stop shop.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you for the 5. Appreciate that.
Like, scared too, and then when she called me, and I did ask the first time, I did withhold a lot of information.
Why were you scared to tell his wife?
He just sounded scary, and then like, I mean, from like that first time that I met him and stuff, after I had really like processed everything and remembered like those chunks of the night when like he would talk about his wife and like just kind of the way that he looked, like he just had a look on his face sometimes when he would get upset. It just like kind of all came back to me, and just from the way he was talking, I was like, I don't know what this man is capable of, and he sounds really aggressive, and he knows where I live, so I was really just nervous.
Okay, and so when you said that when you were with him physically on September 15th, you said he had a look that was scary to you?
Yeah, like when he would get like upset talking about how his wife would go partying with her friends and stuff, or like when he would talk about how he would do anything to keep his kid, like his demeanor was a little bit like, it was just different, you know, like his eyes would get really big and he just would look a little scary.
Okay, so when the defendant called and asked you about lying to his wife, was there anything else he said that you can recall?
Not that I can remember now.
Anything else he told you to do?
I don't think so.
Did you end up speaking with his wife, Anna?
Yes.
How soon after that phone call from the defendant do you recall speaking with Anna?
I think it was like maybe like 10 minutes after.
Did Anna call you on your cell phone?
Yeah.
And had you had any contact with Anna prior to talking to her on the phone?
No.
Did she ever have your number?
No.
Okay. So somehow she was able to get your number and give you a call?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when she called you, what did she say?
She was asking me like what happened, and she was like, I need you to tell me what happened between you and Ali. And yeah, I just answered her, but I definitely did not tell her the full thing in the first call.
How did you know it was Anna, his wife, who you were talking to?
I think she told me in the beginning, and also because he just told me that she might call me, and then I get a call from like this number, I don't know. She had also texted me. I don't remember if she texted me before. Sorry. I don't remember if she texted me before or after she had called me, but yeah, she did text me too.
Okay. So when the defendant was calling you and texting you, telling you these things, did you want anything to do with him?
No.
Did you tell him that?
Yes.
Was he, after you told him you didn't want, did you use those words? Like, did you wanted nothing to do with him?
I
Or
think
how
I
did you want it
did.
to him?
I'm pretty sure I did, and I said it wasn't my problem, that he had to deal with it himself because this is his situation. I didn't want to be involved.
Okay, and then, so when you told the defendant that you wanted nothing to do with him, did he still keep contacting you?
I think this was when, like, the first week that he was texting me and stuff like that. That was when he was constantly texting me, and then I think he just backed off after that, and that's why we didn't really talk that much after, up until he called me to tell me that his wife found out.
Okay, and so when he started to text you and call you that his wife found out, did you still want anything to do with him?
No.
And did you tell him that?
Yes.
And did he still keep talking to you about his wife and what
Well,
you should
he was just telling, yeah, he called me that one time, and then she called me 10 minutes after, so it happened, like, all at once.
Okay, so the first time that you spoke with Anna over the phone, you said 10 minutes after the defendant called you. You said you didn't tell her the full truth during that call, right? Why did you not do that?
Because the way he was telling me to lie for him made me feel like, you know, if I don't lie, like, something bad might happen.
Yeah.
What did you think would happen that was bad?
I don't know, I thought he could get violent. My mind kind of went everywhere because, I mean, like, I don't know. I thought he could come to my apartment and try to confront me, or he could get mad at her. I just thought something would go wrong.
Okay, so what is it that you told Anna during that first conversation?
I don't remember. I think I just told her that he found me in the elevator and was trying to comfort me, and I came over and we talked, and that he was being there for me, and that, like, I think that I told her that was all that happened.
Okay, so you did, during that first phone call, you didn't tell Anna anything that happened sexually between you and the defendant?
I don't think I did.
Or any touching or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't think I did. I think I withheld that.
Okay. And was there any other details from that first phone call from Anna?
Not that I can remember.
So you told Anna that the defendant was just comforting you and talking to you. And then what happened after that phone call?
There was, like, some time, I don't know how much time went by, but she was still texting me, and yeah, she called me again, or she asked me to call her again, but I was, like, not, I was driving at the time, so I called her a little bit later, and then we talked again, and that time I told her more of, like, what went down, that, like, he touched me and that we got, like, sexual.
Okay, so this time
I call her again, but I was, like, not, I was driving at the time, so I called her a little bit later, and then we talked again, and that time I told her more of, like, what went down, that, like, he touched me and that we got, like, sexual.
Okay. So you said that you sent some text messages. I want to show you, it's right in front of you. It's People's Exhibit number 167. It's page 9. Can you read through these messages and then let me know if you recognize this series of text messages?
From the very beginning?
Yes, from the beginning to the end.
She said,
I'm sorry, not out loud, just to yourself.
oh, haha, okay.
Yeah, sorry, I was driving. I don't know if they're going to read this. Probably will. I really hope you are telling me the truth yesterday about what happened between you and Ali. I just need to know for closure. And this is so crazy that, like, this dude was, like, hooking up with this chick. I think they said it was September. And then the next month, he sees this guy, Ray, in Anna's house, and he snaps and kills her. But, bro, you've been, like, messing around and stuff. I just need to know for closure. Because he keeps telling me something happened to you guys. And he was, like, poking and prodding and teasing and, like, kind of, like, shitting on Anna, like, telling her all this stuff to mess with her. And she said, hey, I'm not even going to cap at all. And I pray Ali doesn't ever hit me up or get mad at me. But he did give me a massage and, like, did foreplay, but we didn't actually F. Sorry, I wanted to say this the first time, but I was just still scared.
Exhibit People's 167, page 9.
Yes.
Okay. What is this?
It's a text message between me and Anna.
Okay, so this was a series of text messages that you and Anna sent to each other after that first phone call? Okay. And you said you don't recall what date, it was just a couple weeks later?
Yeah.
Right? All right, and so during these text messages with Anna, is she asking you to tell her what happened between you and Ali, the defendant? And is she asking you that because she wants closure?
Yeah.
Okay. And then are you starting to tell her some more details about what you and the defendant did?
Yes.
Okay. So in this text message, are you telling Anna that you and the defendant engaged in a massage and foreplay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But you're saying the words, we didn't actually fuck, but you said you weren't telling her the full truth there? Okay. Did he give you a massage?
Yes.
Okay. And foreplay?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you start to tell Anna a little bit of the details, but not everything?
Yeah.
Okay. And then in your last text message, where you say, sorry, I wanted to say this the first time, but I was still scared. Were you telling her that you were scared of
Yeah.
the defendant?
Yes.
Okay. And you said, I don't know what he's capable of, and I didn't want him to get mad when he knows where I live. Right? And then YK is that you know.
Yes.
So were you being truthful with her in why you were not giving her certain information?
Yes.
Okay. And besides this series of text messages, are there any other messages you recall, text messages between you and Anna?
I don't remember, no.
Right. And then did you have another conversation on the phone with Anna?
I'm not sure if we had another phone call or if we had it in that second call. I just know there was a point where I did like exchange like Instagrams with her and like she was kind of talking to me like we were friends at one point in the text, I think.
Okay, so you said earlier that there was another conversation that you had with Anna where you gave her more details. Was that over the phone?
Yeah, that was over the phone.
Okay, so that's the conversation I want to focus on now. So what additional details did you give Anna during that second phone call?
I think that was the one that I was referring to in that text message. We're kind of just going over like, yeah, like he massaged me. And then I don't know if I actually told her we like had sex because I don't know if I even really count that. Like it was kind of more like an attempt. But like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I just kind of reiterated what I said in that text.
Okay, so you didn't tell Anna about him having sex with you for those 3 minutes and any touching involved there. You didn't tell her those details.
I'm not sure if I did or not.
Okay. And why did you not tell her all of the details about what happened?
Because I was just nervous and I didn't really want to, like, I don't know, I didn't want to be a part of it and I didn't think that it was necessary. I thought what I said was enough, hopefully, for what she needed to know was that at the end of the day he cheated. And that was, what she needed to hear.
Okay. And so did you go through with her all of the details about what he did or said like we're doing today in court?
No, I don't think I disclosed that much information.
And after you spoke with her on the second occasion, did you have any more phone conversations with her?
No, I don't think so.
What about in-person conversations?
No,
You had never met Anna?
no.
And then you said that did you exchange some social media messages?
Not messages, but we followed each other on Instagram.
Was she mad at you during your conversations?
She expressed being frustrated, but then she would correct herself and say, like, she knows it's not my fault, and that, she's sorry that I had to get dragged into all of it.
Okay. Did you tell Anna that you did not know the real status of their separation?
Yeah.
After you told Anna the details about what happened between you and the defendant, did Anna tell you that she wanted to leave the defendant?
Yeah.
What did she say?
She was just telling me that, like, they were already in the process of splitting, but this was what she needed to hear. And that she was gonna kick him out the apartment and leave him.
was your response to that?
I encouraged it. I was like, yeah, you go, girl. He sucks.
Did you have any other conversations with the defendant after that point?
A little bit. He just was asking me what I think he asked me what I said. He was mostly mad that he saw we were following each other on Instagram. And he was like, so what, are you guys friends now? And he was just texting me and like all upset about the fact that I talked to her and that we were following each other.
Do you recall when that was?
It was like the same day, I think.
Did the defendant, after you spoke with Anna that day, did the defendant call you again?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Or send you any text messages?
No.
That was it.
And did you have any other contact with Anna after those phone calls?
No, I don't think so.
All right, thank you. Nothing further.
Witness.
Cross.
Good afternoon, Ms. Sanchez. You think that you moved into the Spire apartment building on September 15th, is that right?
Yes.
And you were in the elevator that same day, having just finished your moving in.
Yeah.
And you were upset in the elevator,
Yes.
crying in the elevator,
Yeah.
and suddenly this other person was in the elevator with you. Is that a yes?
Yes.
And that's the person you've identified as Mr. Abulaban?
Yes.
And the two of you began talking in the elevator, right?
Yeah.
And you seem to have some sort of connection in that elevator, right? Is that a yes?
Yes.
Because then you ended up going with this complete stranger to his apartment, right?
Yeah.
And you were in his apartment. The two of you were talking about your respective problems, right?
Yeah.
You were talking about having just had a big fight with your ex-boyfriend, right? Is that a yes?
Yes.
And he was talking to you about the problems that he was having in his marriage with his wife, right?
Yes.
And he referred to her as his wife, right?
Not that I remember. He was saying it like my wife who just like walked out. He was saying like she left me.
Okay, but he said my wife, right?
Maybe, yeah, I think so.
Well, did he or didn't he?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, you were just asked a bunch of questions about what you understood about the real status of the separation of Ali and Anna the night that you slept, or maybe slept, with Ali, right? Is that a yes?
Yes.
So what did you think the status of that separation was?
I just thought they were separated and I thought that she was like out of the door already.
Okay, so you thought at the time that you agreed to have sex with him, but he was separated. Is that a yes?
Yes.
And so when he's talking to you, he's calling her his wife, but she just left me yesterday.
He didn't say that she left yesterday.
Okay, so he was just saying my wife then.
I think so. I don't know.
Okay. So you're having these conversations back and forth in the apartment. You're using cocaine. Is that a yes? He used cocaine.
Yes.
You're drinking wine.
Yes.
He's drinking wine.
Yes.
Everything about this encounter with him was completely consensual, correct?
Yes.
You wanted to be there.
Yes.
You chose to be there.
Yes.
And the two of you were talking in a way that appeared to be flirtatious and sexual in nature, right?
Yes.
And then you asked him, it seems like you want to have sex with me, right?
Yes.
And he said, sure, right?
He was saying that he did. He was hinting that he wanted to have sex with me.
And when you asked him, hey, it seems like you want to have sex, he said yes, right?
Yes.
Everything up to this point was completely consensual between the two of you, complete strangers, right?
Yes.
You then said to him, oh, wait, I forgot, I'm on my period, right?
Yes.
And then you went in and he said, go ahead and take a shower, right?
Yes.
And then you did, right?
Yes.
And you came out fully naked from the shower, correct?
I don't think so, no.
And then he began,
Yes.
and you came out fully naked from the shower, correct?
I don't think so, no.
And then he began to, the two of you began to be intimate, tried to have sex, right?
Yes.
And he got frustrated, like you testified on direct examination, right?
Yes.
And he got frustrated because he could not get an erection, correct?
Yeah, oh, he couldn't keep it up, but yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's why he got frustrated with you, right?
Yes.
And so then you said, hey, you know what? Let's go upstairs to my apartment, right?
No.
And you got your dildo, your vibrator.
Oh, hey, hold on. I'm sorry. I got to take it back a few seconds. I was telling little baby girl good night. Hold
And
on.
he got frustrated, intimate, tried,
So no.
and then he began to, the two of you began to be intimate from the shower, correct?
Got naked out the shower.
I don't think so, no.
And then he began to, the two of you began to be intimate, tried to have sex, right?
Yes.
And he got frustrated, like you testified on direct examination, right?
Yes.
And he got frustrated because he could not get an erection, correct?
Yeah, oh, he couldn't keep it up, but yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's why he got frustrated with you, right?
Yes.
And so then you said, hey, you know what? Let's go upstairs to my apartment, right?
No.
And you got your dildo, your vibrator from upstairs, right?
I got my weed pen and my vibrator, yes.
And you brought it back downstairs to his apartment, correct?
Yes.
And you took him with you up to your apartment.
Yes.
So this person that you have described to us today that made you feel weird and gross and icky, you took him with you to your apartment, right?
Yes.
You came back to his apartment, and that's when he gave you a massage with your vibrator, correct?
Yes. I think so.
Well, is it or isn't it?
I don't know if you give him. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Yes.
Right, he massaged you sexually with your vibrator, right?
Yes, I guess.
And then after that, you still hung out in his apartment, right?
Yes.
And you watched his TikTok videos, right?
Yes.
And you hung out with him for about 3 hours, correct?
Yes.
And then that was the end of it for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
You didn't want to have anything more to do with him, correct?
Yes.
It was just a real quick, consensual, wham bam sort of, let's just have sex and be done with it, right?
Yes.
And then you returned to your apartment and he remained at his apartment, correct?
Yes.
Then the next day, you had given him your telephone number, right?
I don't remember if I gave him my telephone number the next day. I don't think I would have.
That was a bad question. You gave him your telephone number during the time period the two of you were in his apartment, correct?
Yes.
And then the next day, he used that telephone number to contact you, right?
Yes.
And he was texting you and asking you if you wanted to hang out and do anything together, right?
Yes.
But you didn't want to do that, right?
Yes.
Because you just
So she snubbed him too.
wanted to try to have sex with him, right?
No.
That was
because
the-
he was weird.
Oh shit.
But someone who you described as weird, you hung out with him for
Still
3
hung out.
hours.
I was also grieving and I was 19.
Okay.
Ooh,
And you hung
ooh.
out with him for 3 hours, right?
Snapping her, and I was coked out of my mind, right? That's what she said.
Question asked and answered.
Yes.
And you took him to your apartment.
Question
Yes.
asked and answered.
You took him inside of your apartment
Yes.
and you gave him your telephone number.
Yes.
You then went back with him to his apartment
Yes.
and you showered in his apartment.
Yes.
You have a shower in your apartment, right?
Yes.
So the next day, he contacts you on the telephone number that you gave him, correct?
Yes.
And you told him you didn't want to hang out with him, right?
Yes. Yes.
And then you did not hear from him for the rest of what appeared to be maybe 3-4 days a week, correct?
Yes.
Until he contacted you again and said, my wife found out, right?
Yes.
And what are you going to say to her? What would you say to her? Those were the types of questions he was asking you, correct?
Yes, and he was also asking me to lie.
And he asked you to lie, right?
Yes.
And you did,
Yes.
right? And it wasn't until Anna said to you, hey, I just need to know for closure because he keeps telling me something happened to you guys, right? And then that's when you were honest with Anna, correct?
Yes.
After Ali was saying to Anna something happened between the two of you, right?
Yes.
You said that she texted you, correct?
Yes.
But Anna did not have your telephone number prior to your involvement with Ali, correct?
Yes.
So the only way that she would have gotten your number and your name was through Ali, right?
Yes.
So he gives the number, she contacts you, you then lie to her about what actually happened, right?
Yes.
She confronts you and says, hey, he's telling me that something happened between the two of you. what happened, right?
Yes.
And that's when you told her, hey, yeah, I'm not even going to cap at all. Cap at all means not lie, right?
Yeah.
And I pray Ali doesn't ever HMU, does that mean hit me up?
Yes.
Or get mad at me. But he did give me a massage
Yes.
and like did foreplay,
Yes.
but we didn't actually fuck, right?
Yes.
And you didn't have any other conversations with Anna after this text exchange, correct?
I'm not sure if that happened before or after the second phone call,
Okay.
and if we had more texts after that.
Well, did you, any other text that you would have had with Anna would have been on that same phone? That same phone number that you
yes. Yeah.
had? And so you didn't text her later from a different telephone number or something like that,
No.
right?
No.
Okay. And you know that you had a phone call with her initially where you denied anything happened,
Yes.
right? And then she texted you.
Yes.
Was there another phone call that you had with her after that text?
I believe so. I know we had at least like 2 phone calls.
Okay. And that's when you say you told her the truth, and the truth being, he gave me a massage, we did like foreplay, but we didn't actually fuck, right?
Yes.
And that's because you didn't actually have sex with him in your mind, right?
Yes.
You tried, but he got frustrated because he couldn't hold an erection, correct?
Yes.
And when he got frustrated and he couldn't hold an erection, he kept talking to you about his wife, right?
Yes.
And he was referring to her as his wife.
I don't remember.
Well, that's what you said on direct examination. He got frustrated and kept talking about his wife.
Well, I'm calling his wife, because now I know that that was his wife.
Trying to run her through the ground, through the
He
mud.
referred to her as Anna most of the time.
And then you and Anna, after this exchange, became friends on Instagram.
Yes.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Any other questions?
So that's what I was going to start asking you. When the defendant was talking to you, he was using the name Anna? Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yes.
that's what you recall versus saying his wife.
Yes.
So most of the stories and the things he was telling you about her, he said, oh, Anna this or Anna that. Is that what you recall?
For most of it, yes.
And I know you said you had, the defendant gave you cocaine right, and wine, right?
Yes.
Did it affect your ability to recall anything that happened that night?
Yes, I was pretty off it. I mean, even prior to that, like, I was not mentally okay at all. I was probably like one of the worst days of my life.
I'm sorry to hear that, but you're able to recall everything that happened that night.
I
correct?
can recall some of it, yeah. Like, not like super nitty-gritty details, but like the gist of what happened.
Okay, and that's what you're testifying to today, correct?
Yes.
And you're testifying here truthfully today?
Yes.
About what you can recall happening between the two of you?
Yes.
All right, and I know you said you were with the defendant consensually and you were hanging out with him for a few hours, right?
Yes.
Was it towards the end of your time with him that you started to realize certain things that made you said feel gross?
Yes.
So it wasn't the whole time you were with him that you felt that way?
Yeah, for like the first, like, maybe like half an hour, I was like, oh, like, this is nice. That was, yeah, I didn't think anything too crazy. It was just kind of like little details that would come up. And then towards the end, I was like, all right, none of this feels as good as it felt when I first met him.
Okay. And then once you left, did you start to then realize more things about your interaction with him and the things he said and
Yes.
how he acted?
Yes.
Okay. Did you feel like the defendant took advantage of you?
Yes.
Why?
Because he caught me in a really vulnerable moment. Like, I was literally like so upset in the elevator. He knew I was upset. And he also, like, one of the first things we talked about
Bro, his face palm.
was how old I was. I was 19 at the time. And he was like, well, I don't mind, but do you mind how old I am? And I was like, I didn't care at the time because, I don't know, I just didn't care. But I think, like, now, even though it's only been a few years, like, looking back, like, if I had a friend or someone that was younger, I would immediately pull them back from someone like that.
You said someone like that. What do you mean by that?
Like an older guy offering you an ear to listen to and drugs and alcohol. And obviously I knew it wasn't a smart idea. I know it's not a smart idea, but I've never been in a mental state like that.
And I just want to clarify this. I'm sorry to have to keep asking you questions like this. But I just want to be clear. You testified earlier that the defendant put his penis inside your vagina, correct?
Yes, he did.
And you said that was for
Oh.
3 minutes?
No, it was like the process was like 3 minutes of him like trying. So he put it in, and like maybe for like 3 seconds, 5 seconds, like it was in there, and then he just he was frustrated and stopped, and then like went on this whole tangent or whatever.
Okay. Thank you. Nothing further.
Just briefly, you said he took advantage of you.
Yes,
You willingly went to his apartment
yes,
when you were sober.
somewhat.
You were sober, or you were not sober when you were in the elevator with him?
I was like high off weed.
Okay. That you used on your own, not with him, right?
Yes,
So drug use is something that you do on a regular basis.
yes, I
Yes.
smoke weed.
Okay. So then using cocaine was not like a surprise or something you would never in a million years ever do, right?
At the time, it was something that I would never do.
Had you done it before?
Not before then, no.
Okay, so the very
Well, I'd
first...
done it before, yes, but not
Oh.
like it wasn't something that I did. Like I've had an experience with cocaine before then.
Okay. And so the very second time you use cocaine is with a complete stranger in his apartment where the two of you are alone.
Yes,
And he took advantage of you.
yes,
You took him up to your apartment
yes,
Acid answered.
where your roommate was home.
yes.
And you didn't say anything to your roommate about, I've got this creeper following behind me, right?
No, I said something. I was like, this is this guy.
Uh-huh. And did you say, he's a weirdo making me feel icky and gross?
At the time, I was not like thinking that.
Okay.
It really didn't hit me until I really started reflecting on like what I did
On your choices, reflecting on your choices.
and
is when
reflecting
you
on
started,
the things that he said.
when you began reflecting on your choices the next day to sleep with a stranger, to use drugs with a stranger, to put yourself in that position, that you started to feel icky about your choices, right?
Objection argumentative.
Yes,
Thank you, nothing further.
Oh. Oh, that was a side piece. Long time ago. Well, for those that don't know, he was found guilty. His sentencing, I think, is at the end of this month. And I'm going to be there for it. He's facing life without parole. I think he should suffer. Real quick, an update with this school. We covered this the other day. It was kind of funny, but it was also like shocking and like, I don't know. And there was this lady that's a teacher at the school, and apparently she had taken these videos, I think in a classroom and in a bathroom. No kids were there. And it was posted online, but the thing was, is she said that she had sent this to her boyfriend at the time or something, and things weren't working out, so the guy went and posted it because she was literally wearing her badge in one of these videos. And so now she's, I don't know if they're going to try to, I don't know if she's going to try to sue the boyfriend, or they're going to try to put the police are investigating it because it's called Revenge P, and so I don't know. And so at this school, there was another situation. I believe a teacher ended up, or a special ed teacher ended up deceased. Let me see here. Meanwhile, Monday, another staffer from the school was found dead, the victim of a possible homicide. So, this has no connection, but it's just that she was a teacher at the school. And so the body of Laura Smith, who worked at the school's early childhood special education aide, was discovered inside her home. Body was found Tuesday. Smith's husband abruptly quit his job at Harris County Precinct for Constable's office as the local sheriff's office launched a murder probe. So another little weird situation at that school. Cobalt says, I'm glad I found the side chick video. They did not show to us. Well, yeah, there's a whole bunch of pieces missing to the trial because it wasn't live streamed. It was like pre-recorded and posted. When you talking about the interview with the Quanell?
You really can't make this stuff up. It is absolutely
It's a
appalling,
snippet.
shameful, and frightening that these are the type of educators that are in an elementary school teaching our children. When parents send their children to school, they believe their teachers are people of the utmost highest character. But now we got a teacher in the classroom on school hours stripping down.
Sorry, it's probably really loud. I gotta adjust the volume. The other thing was really low. Okay.
Butt naked, bending over and showing everything on the video, and all you could see was cellulite hanging in pubic hair. This is a disgrace and a shame that this is the type of educator and teacher that is in the classroom. And she made multiple videos. Yes, the district was unaware until we brought this to their attention. But what we're asking you to do now is to go even further. Nullifying her contract is not enough. We demand that the superintendent and the board ban her from ever teaching in this school district again. We want a permanent ban on her. Secondly, we demand that this school district send a letter to TEA demanding her certification as a teacher be terminated and revoked. 3, we're demanding that this district contact law enforcement. And we want to make sure that the students that she taught are interviewed, or a hotline is set up to make sure that she didn't do additional things in the classroom that may be inappropriate, unethical, unprofessional, or dangerous in the environment of those children. If she would do this in the classroom, what else will she do? This woman obviously had lost her damn mind.
Oh my god. I want to see this real quick. This was
Imagine
woman finds dog she thought was euthanized up for adoption. What?
going online to adopt a pet and you see your dog, which you thought was dead, right there being offered up for adoption.
I sent them an email and I said, is this the same one that, I adopted?
It was. So how did Christy Pereira's adorable little hound mix puppy Bo, that she assumed had been put down almost a year ago, end up alive on this pet adoption site? When Bo was with Christy, the little guy was suffering from a neurological condition that caused him terrible pain.
I ended up taking him to the ER because he was not sleeping, he was not eating, constant crying and barking and just in visible discomfort.
He wasn't going to get better, so Christy, who got the dog from the Lost Dog and Cat Rescue Foundation in Falls Church, Virginia, made the difficult decision to put Bo down.
I brought a letter from my vet saying that this was the procedure that they were recommending because he had poor quality of life.
Fast forward a year later. Christy wasn't aware at the time when she took Bo to the animal hospital that she checked off a box surrendering her rights if Bo recovered from his illness. Now there's Bo on the adoption site with a new name, Amos, and Christy wants to adopt him all over again.
No, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? You can't do that, right? I mean, if you gave up the dog, I'm sure the dog was going through something, I'm sure. Maybe, but you gave up on him. He'd be dead if it was any other place. Somehow this other place has revived him, or I don't know how, and he's doing a lot better. He's actually happier now. And so now you want to re-adopt him after you left him for dead? Nah, man, I don't think so. Man. What do you guys think? Should she be able to get the dog back? Nah, man. Nah, I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. TikTok star. So this is Army vet mauled by grizzly bear while on his honeymoon. What the? These bear attacks.
This guy can handle just about anything that comes his way. He's a combat veteran who also battled a brain tumor, but nothing could prepare him for coming face to face with a ferocious grizzly bear. What makes it even crazier is the fact that it happened on his honeymoon. Now he and his wife are speaking with Les Trent.
The agony on his face says it all. So does the blood on his hands. Army veteran Shane Burke was on his honeymoon when he was mauled by a mama grizzly bear.
She was attacking me to kill me because I was perceived as a threat.
I spoke to 35-year-old Burke and his wife Chloe today.
She jumped up and I turned 180 and she bit me right on the shoulder and tackled me. She definitely let me have it.
It's like that unforgettable scene from the Leonardo DiCaprio movie, The Revenant. Burke did have bear spray, but didn't get a chance to use it before the bear was savaging him. Incredibly, as he lay face down on the ground with his fingers interlocked on the back of his neck like this, he still held the bear spray in his hand. And that's what saved him. As she bit my hands in the back of my neck, she simultaneously bit the bear spray can and it exploded in her mouth. Burke says on Facebook, biting into that bear spray saved your life.
Absolutely, 100%. She took off running.
Burke and his wife had gone their separate ways in majestic Grand Teton National Park. She was looking after their dog, while Burke had gone look.
Teton National Park? I feel like we've talked about that before. Grand Teton, wasn't that, what case was that? Was that Gabby Petito? Or what, I forgot what mountain that was.
Looking for a rare great gray owl. He reached his wife on cell and told her what happened. Lucky for him, she's a paramedic and knew what to do.
My mind just went right into what needs to happen first. We need to stop the bleeding. We need to get rescue rolling.
Burke followed her instructions and improvised tourniquets for his gaping injuries from his backpack straps. A search and rescue chopper zeroed in on Burke's desperate 911 phone call. He had surgery and staples inserted in his wounds. Burke says he survived combat in Iraq as well as a brain tumor, but nothing equaled the danger he faced when he was attacked by a grizzly.
That bear could have done anything it wanted to me. There's nothing I could have done.
He is so lucky. Shane.
Yeah, lucky to be alive, man. He's had multiple calls. Brain tumor. And veteran. Let me see if there's anything else. We are going to be back here in the morning early. Excuse me, sorry. I'm drinking some tea. I don't think there's anything else. So we have the trial tomorrow. Tuesday, I was thinking that we could I wanted to go through the prosecution's case for Karen Reed. And so Tuesday there's no trial, so I was thinking we could go through some of the documents to see exactly what they're presenting, because people have told me you gotta read it. We can do a little stream and talk about that on Tuesday. Anything else? There was CrimeCon this weekend in Nashville. I didn't go. It's CrimeCon and as far as the couch, for anybody who's been with me through that ridiculous thing, they're coming to pick up the old crap tomorrow. Wednesday, the new one's supposed to come, so we'll see. Fingers crossed. And let's see. I guess that's it. Alex Jones said they're trying to shut him down. He was, I guess, kind of crying on this video or something. He was, let's see. So the feds are coming for him? Alex Jones.
Meet these people.
What the hell?
I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but it's been a hard fight. These people hate our children. Just take more calls. Go ahead, do the next person. I've been under attack.
What was that?
I've been gaslit. I've had secret federal filings filed on me that I'm committing crimes, referred to the Justice Department, which of course wasn't true. We'd already filed it in federal court months before. They didn't even check this shit. If you're gonna fucking frame somebody and fucking lie about them to goddamn federal court, with the fucking know it's already filed in goddamn court, you bastard. So fuck you. And fuck anybody else that tries to go on with your shit. You want fucking war, you fucking got it. I told you one more fucking lie, and I was gonna do this, all right? I tried to sustain this place. I didn't believe America was as corrupt as this. I didn't believe we were this fucked, and we are this fucked. This country is administratively got a bunch of scum in charge of it. That's why it's going down the tubes in America, and the whole world sees it.
So I don't know. We'll see if he actually gets shut down. Mike Tyson. So that fight was postponed. Mike Tyson and Logan Paul, was it? Or Jake Paul? Jake Paul. I knew something was up or not probably going to be good when I saw that Tyson had some ulcer flares and they were literally rolling him out in a wheelchair. And I was like, oh, man. Let me see if I can find a little clip. Wheelchair, Mike Tyson wheelchair. And I saw that. I was like, oh, that's not good. That is not good.
His legacy is going to be he can knock out old people.
It is slightly roastable. For the record, I think Jake would win. I think you would win.
I want to see the wheelchair thing. I don't know what all this junk is. Oh, when I saw this video too from a year ago when he was walking in a cane, I was like, oh, nah, bro.
Can you guys vouch for me? Am I right?
Yep. How you doing, Mike? Good to see you, brother. You looking good.
I mean, I don't know. You think Mike could take him? He was an amazing fighter, but I don't know. Like when you get older and you have those health ailments, you know. I mean, my knees lately been killing me, but that's because of the weight that I gained. I'm going to try to. I somewhat started today and the other day, but I'm going to start leaning myself into intermittent fasting because I got to drop some pounds. Because the minute I start getting weight, I can feel it like in my legs, sometimes on my knees. Not the minute, but once I go over. And so the other day, he had some ulcer issue and he was wheeled.
Hey, fight fans, are
Where's that video at? I don't know why the video's so hard to find. Tyson! Oh, sure.
Former heavyweight boxing champion Mike Tyson had a brief medical scare earlier today during a cross-country flight from Miami to Los Angeles. According to TMZ, paramedics had to be called on board the United Airlines flight. The 57-year-old said he was in pain and felt dizzy and nauseous 30 minutes before the plane landed at LAX. A representative for Tyson says he experienced a flare-up from an ulcer but is now recovering. Tyson is in the middle of training for his July boxing match against YouTube star Jake Paul.
How many hours can you eat? Well, I'm starting like with a big window, really light. So I'm gonna do 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. this week, I think. Then next week, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and then 12 to 8. Ah, man, I've seen some videos. People, it really works for them. Intermittent fasting. Push-ups, I know, yeah. I was supposed to do some today. I didn't do it. I can't. I'm sorry, Mr. Mama. Eating a bunch of food the entire day doesn't work out for me. I need to have some type of little restriction and stuff. That's the only way, unless it's gonna take me like years to lose the weight. There was this person, by the way. Apparently, I don't know. This was Grant's. They're saying this is Grant's mother. She was ranting about or venting. I don't know. Was she on a panel or something? She was going off about Karen Reed. Check it out.
The physical evidence is consistent with her hitting him with her taillight. Why? Because she hits him in the front. He's sitting on his ass because he's drunk when he gets out of her car. He falls on his ass. She hits him in the head right here, which is where the first injury is. He goes backwards and slams his head, not on the grass, on the asphalt. That's where he got the big cut in the back of his head. That's where the fractures and the bleeding happened, which came forward like they always do and created the two black eyes. Typical injuries that you see from head trauma. Then a plow comes along and scoops his body down a bit, up onto the grass. But guess what the plow gave him? Scratch marks. The medical examiner said these marks have nothing to do with a damn dog. Stop blaming the poor dog who
No, not Chloe.
can't defend himself. This is from a plow. They called it blunt force trauma. Those are those scratches. And the most important thing is Everyone will agree, if you just read the evidence, that taillight broke right then and there when she smashed him in the head. Her taillight wasn't broken before, and everyone agrees it was broken when she returned to the scene in the morning and found the dead body. And pieces of her taillight just happened to be found near the body. She can't explain that. The physical evidence.
Josie snapping. Somebody said that's Ellis's mom, though. I didn't know that. Grant's mom? Wow. Grant's mom is an attorney? Oh. I'm waiting for the Cellbrite experts. I'm very, very curious to see what the Cellbrite. That's going to be a big thing for me, personally. They can explain away that 2 a.m. call or whatever it is. And, not butter or alcohol and other foods. Wholesome foods won't make you fat in moderation. I can't. I'm sorry. I realize a lot of times too, I eat and I'm not even hungry. You know? So I gotta work on that. Let's just start eating, snacking. That shit looks good. I'm just gonna eat that. Cellbrite extractions will be good evidence. Butt calls. That's the only thing. Yeah, the butt calls, butt dials. How are they going to explain that away? That is from the SDS episode where Turtle Guy came on too. Oh, it went completely off the rails. Interesting. Maybe I have to check that out. One meal, one humble meal. He sleeps in the caves and against trees. That is something some people do, the 1 meal a day thing. I think that's kind of, I don't think I could do that. I think my biggest thing too is eating late. If I can cut out, I'm going to try to cut off. Today I did, I think at 8:30 I ate, which was past the time. So tomorrow I'm going to try to wait a little bit longer. Or have breakfast like 10:30 or something. Right? Yeah, 10:30, something like that. The new Eminem song, I did, and I thought it was all right. I wasn't that. The video went viral and it blew up. I wasn't feeling it. I really didn't like it. The Houdini song had 30 million views in 2 days. I guess he was trying to bring back the old Eminem, but I wasn't feeling it. It was just, it's kind of weird to me. Eat no later than 2 p.m. What? But dial. Make breakfast your biggest meal. Let me see what else real quick, and then we'll hop off in a bit. Take a look at law and crime. Law and crime. Oh, it was a mass shooting. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, there's a press conference. Oh, nobody told me. I thought I did see somebody mention it in the chat, but guess I missed out on that.
Who know the person or persons involved, and I implore you to speak up.
Mass shooting. Akron, Ohio. Ain't nobody tell me. Somebody in the chat did say earlier something about mass shooting. Ain't nobody tell me. What did the side piece say on TikTok? What do you mean on TikTok? She was on TikTok? Just never eat. The starving kids with inflamed bellies is always attractive. Okay. Is that it? Are we done? We're calling it a night. I should probably lay down and relax because gonna be a long day tomorrow. Middle school teacher interrogated after being caught. Whoa, that might be interesting to watch sometime. Not today, not right now, but
I think really when it was online, it was more of a fantasy than in real life. I never wanted that, and even today, I don't know why I came up. I don't know what made. I almost turned off and just went to the Dayton Air Force Museum. I think I just.
Was that about when you started thinking this is a bad idea?
No.
James Rutherford, 23-year-old middle school teacher, was going through a rough patch in his marriage, so he decided to get an underage girl. Wow. Rutherford was shocked when he was caught by police talking to a decoy posing as a 13-year-old girl. Stranger Stories breaks down the shocking interrogation.
As soon as she said it yesterday, I thought.
Recognizes this fact because he says that one.
Interesting. Picture perfect family turns deadly.
Chandler Halderson was your usual 23-year-old. He attended his local college in Madison, Wisconsin. He had a long-term girlfriend and 2 dogs. He still lived at home, but he was working on that. He was getting his IT degree. We bought them.
I got injured, but he was mad. He didn't really talk to me too much that day.
Yeah, talking about food, breakfast. What's for breakfast tomorrow? I actually, and I know Mustard Mama doesn't like it. I like to work out. When I work out in the morning, I like to be on an empty stomach. Some people like to eat. I don't want to. I prefer to have an empty stomach and then eat when I'm ready. No. More sleep for breakfast. Diet under doctor's supervision. What? Why? I'm gonna ask my doctor. I don't think intermittent fasting is crazy, especially if it's a big window like 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's not something you need to check with your doctor. I mean, maybe you do, but I've done that before plenty of times. 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. is reasonable. I don't think it's anything crazy. Ultimately, I'd like to do maybe 12 to 8, but my biggest thing is eating late. If I go to sleep on time, it shouldn't be a problem. The doctor. Learn to eat pickle. Oh, sauerkraut. Oh, olives. Oh, with each meal. I hate all those things. I don't like any of those. Pickles. Disgust. Let me look it up. Disgusting pickles. Real weird. Lamb tongue, pig snout.
Hey guys. But the last time.
It looks like little octopuses or something. What the fuck is that?
What is a cockle?
A cockle is an edible marine bivalve mollusk.
Oh, I thought.
muscle. Use a small plate, and the meat should be no bigger than the palm of your hand. And the right side of your plate, all greens. I think that's when I was doing the best simple meals that when I used to make, just a protein and some veggies. Ronan. Oh man. Asia's maggot covered delicacy.
Eating a live octopus is literally like eating a cat or a dog. You're eating something that's going to be terrified and feel intense pain with every bite you take. There's no humane way to eat a live octopus or any other animal. Please don't eat them. Eating a
Snack wraps? I haven't tried that. Snack wraps from Burger King. I used to love the breakfast. Burger King's breakfast. Starve yourself. All right, I guess I'm going to call it for tonight, but I will be here early tomorrow. I am curious to see what's going to happen with Karen Reed and what's going to be I don't know how long this trial is going to drag on because they take so many days off. But I am curious to see what else the prosecution is going to bring, the experts, and what the defense has to say. Now, if the jury finds Karen guilty, I pray for those jurors, man. Because these people, I don't know. I've seen some of these people, they're not going to be happy. Oh, it's going to be rage. Rage. Anger. See, right now, I'd be tempted to eat. Tonight, no more. The cutoff time is cutoff time. That's going to be the hardest thing. It's not even like, waiting an hour in the morning or two for breakfast. It's the nighttime thing. I could totally get up from here right now and go eat. Just to eat. I'm not even hungry. Just to eat something just cuz. Just to feel the flavor and texture. It's a mental thing. Oh, the way you said doctor is exactly my late best friend, Dr. Metal. He was DJ for the Metal Zone, longest running metal radio show. Really, he died a hero in Station Fire 03. I'm sorry for your loss. Oh, I did see something pop up earlier and I forgot. No, Mustard. Mustard telling me all the things I don't want. She encouraging me to eat late. What? Yo. Okay, well, Vic sent me a 10 and said for F. Bullhorn Betty, Trev, and Pascal read optional. Oh, I shouldn't have read that maybe. But thank you for the 10. Pascal's a nice guy, I believe. Thank you. What's the cutoff time? I'm going to try for 8. I feel like you can eat late. I don't know. Why would you eat late? I feel like that's where my downfall is, eating late. No, you ain't going to eat nothing good late at night. Eat late. Mountain oysters. Ugh. Isn't that bull balls or something? Some creepy guy I don't know sent me his D this morning. Oh my gosh. The grossest one I've ever seen, says Wendy. Holy crap. That's what I noticed too, Beach Mel. If I eat at night and I eat late, I wake up hungry. But if I don't eat late, I don't wake up hungry. We're live. Insulin, right? Yes. All right, guys, I'm going to get off. I'm going to relax and chill and just whatever, be ready for tomorrow morning. You need 4 to 6 hours between meals and not eat late. The station nightclub fire. Oh. It was started by pyro set off by Great White. 100 people dead. Wow. You lost your cousin and 3 friends. I'm really sorry. Wow. The station nightclub fire. Let's see. Wow. Occurred in February 20, 2003, the station, a nightclub and hard rock music venue, killing 100 people and injuring 230. Wow.
Years ago tonight, Rhode Island experienced the single worst disaster the state has ever seen. A concert headlined by rock band Great White ended in tragedy. Pyrotechnics ignited foam lining the walls of the station, a small nightclub on Coeusett Avenue in West Warwick. 100 people died as a result of the fire. Hundreds more were injured. Now, a memorial to those victims sits on the same property where the station once stood. Tonight, we're taking time to remember those lost that night and all of the lives that would be changed forever. Our special coverage continues now. I'm Patrice Wood.
And I'm Gene Valicenti, live at the Station Memorial Park right off Coeusett Avenue here in West Warwick. It's a beautiful night. A lot of people have been coming by. The parking lot is full. Special lights are going up to light it up tonight. They've got permanent floodlights, but a special string of lights will be put up momentarily. People have been coming by most of the day. In fact, the crowds have picked up, even as the temperature kind of drops. But it was a wonderful day today to come by this park. The weather, such a stark contrast to what it was years ago. Snow on the ground, freezing cold. A little different today. NBC 10's Brian Crandall has been here for most of the day. He's been speaking to people coming by. Brian, pick up our coverage for us.
Well, Gene, been talking to families and survivors in the past couple of weeks leading up to this anniversary, and the stories that come out of the station fire, what happened here from victims and their families and survivors can be tough to listen to, but those who tell them say it's important to remember. Just after 11 p.m., February 20th, 2003, inside the station nightclub, pyrotechnics are set off to start the band Great White show. The pyro ignites highly flammable foam that had been installed on the club walls as soundproofing. People rush to escape the overcrowded club.
The ceiling was now on fire. Lights were crashing and cracking, and I just remember Fred putting his hand on the middle of my back and pushing me and screaming, "Go," and he just shoved me. And I remember trying to turn around to see him, find him, and it was just people, some heads on fire. The lights, the ceiling melting. I've always called it black rain. And I made it to that front door. I did, but there were already people piled up.
100 people died. Gina Russo's fiance, Fred Chrysostomy, was among them. And Gina was among the more than 200 who were injured. She spent months in the hospital.
My head is burned 4th degree. That's the worst of it, so I have to wear a wig. My own hair will never grow back. I lost my left ear, but not my hearing, and the doctors have rebuilt it over time. And my back and my arms are 3rd degree.
Immeasurable grief followed the fire. So too did anger and controversy. The band, including singer Jack Russell, claimed they had permission from the club to use the pyrotechnics.
They gave us a thumbs up tonight. Next thing you know, we're on stage and I'm feeling this heat. I turn around and the whole wall's on fire, the ceiling's on fire.
Station owners Jeffrey and Michael Dedarian insisted they did not.
No permission was ever requested by the band or any of its agents to use pyrotechnics at the station, and no permission was ever given.
Focus also quickly turned to West Warwick's fire inspector, who had previously increased the club's capacity and did not find a problem with the foam. Later in 2003, the Dedarians and Great White tour manager Dan Beakley were charged with 100 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Beakley eventually pleaded guilty and ended. Later in 2003, the Didarians and Great White Tour manager Dan Beakley were charged with 100 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Beakley eventually pleaded guilty and ended up serving less than 2 years in prison. The Didarians also reached a plea agreement. Jeffrey avoided prison time. Michael served a little under 3 years behind bars. Meanwhile, loved ones of those who died in the fire are left with a hole in their lives, like Chris Fontaine. Her son Mark was killed.
I think anybody who has lost a child knows that once that happens, you're a different person than you were before. You're never the same. There's a place in your heart that's missing, that can't be replaced, that can't be fixed.
Now, some say talking about their loved ones and what happened helps them cope. For others, it's too painful. And some of those details, Gene, some people know all too well, but now being 20 years, maybe some have forgotten, or some people just don't know because they weren't around then.
Yeah, 20 years passing. All right, Brian, thanks. Let's continue our coverage now with a live.
Okay. There was a serial killer, too, that was killed the other day in prison. I thought we could watch his interrogation one day. I don't know how long or short it is. A weirdo guy, the guy on the pig farm. Had all his pigs and stuff, fed people to the pigs. Jam Cracker, thank you. Thank you for the 20. It should be reading out in a second. But it says, how's the new place? It's good. It's good so far. The only problem has been the couch. It's been this company was really bad. Wayfair. They just wouldn't deliver. I only got one piece of the couch. I just ended up canceling the whole thing. So they're picking that one piece tomorrow up, and I got a whole different company. They're bringing it Wednesday. So hopefully Wednesday it'd be done because I haven't really been able to use the living room in this place. But so far good. So far good. Thanks. Yeah, it's wild. Oh, maybe it won't pop up here. Long delay. Oh, no problem, Hug Dealer. No problem. Thank you. Sorry again. That's a horrible incident. It's got to be really, can't imagine, scary. Trapped in a place like that. Everybody trying to run out. Alrighty, well, I guess I'm gonna call it a night. I was trying to see if Jam's message would pop up. For some reason, it hasn't. It's like delayed or something. Okay. Oh, and I saw somebody said they sent me an email about Karen Reed, so I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Oh, okay, I got your email too. Keep on keeping. What? Wow. I'll write you back. Oh no, the serial killer thing. I want to do a live stream on it because I feel like we could do a interrogation. We could watch the interrogation. He was stabbed by somebody else in prison. Robert Pinkton would feed the victims to pigs. All right, guys. I will write back to that person. We'll talk about it. We'll see. But have a good night. Love you guys. See you in the morning. Okay? Bye. Bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop. There's a documentary named 41. Okay. Okay. Bye, guys. Bloop, bloop.